Lift your head, feel the pride, we've come so far. A voice is strong, shining bright like a guiding star. Built with love, bound by truth, it's who we are. New journal and guide, we've raised the bar. Mighty hearts in our chest, we stand tall. Through the storm.
Welcome to Njgpod, the official podcast of New Journal and Guide. We're ending off season 1 with a brother Furqan Ali. Brother Ali is a seasoned Pan-Africanist and a dedicated member of the NBPP, the New Black Panther Party, with over 30 years of unwavering commitment to Black community empowerment. As the perpetuator of the Timbuktu bookstore in Norfolk, Virginia, which he's operated for over 2 decades, Brother Ali has been a key figure in promoting literacy and education within the community. His bookstore served not only as a hub for African and African American literature, but also as a cultural center fostering community engagement and intellectual growth. Beyond his entrepreneur endeavors, Brother Ali is a passionate lecturer specializing in Black African social economics. He also has been instrumental in importing authentic African products and merchandise, strengthening economic ties between the continent Africa and America. His philanthropic efforts are notably directed towards advocating for Black women's rights, underscoring his dedication to social justice and equality. Through his multifaceted work, Brother Ali continues to inspire and drive meaningful change within the Black community. Stay tuned to Njgpod for Brother Ali. How you doing, Brother Ali?
I'm doing great, brother. Thank you.
Brother Ali is a owner of a bookstore out in Ocean View, Norfolk. He's been owning the store for about 2 decades. He's seen all kinds of social and economic changes in the area. Some businesses come, major businesses go, but for some reason, he's still there. Brother Ali, what is your secret?
Well, brother, first of all, I would like to say that I was being backed by Allah, and I'm being backed still by Allah himself. And I was consistent and being a loyal servant to our people.
I mean, no, seriously, like, what are you doing different? What is it that you've seen that you've done differently to survive for 20 plus years that some of these other guys aren't doing?
Well, I think the first thing we need to do in the Black community is networking with all other Black organizations and businesses and making sure all our products is owned and produced by us, and making sure also that the products are top quality.
You're not just talking about buying Black locally. You've managed to make some business outside of America. You've reached out to Africa and made some connections there and doing business, in Africa. What made you go that route?
I found out that after traveling there, I would say for the past 9 years, that our brothers and sisters on our Black continent, I like to say, had superior and quality products.
Interesting.
So that inspired me to make some financial investments on the continent.
And how did that decision impact your business?
It gave me the opportunity to inform and educate our people about companies and businesses in Africa that was manufacturing exceptional goods for the Black community here in America. And also to educate them, vice versa, about the quality products that we produce here as African Americans. As you know, blackbusinessnetwork.com, webuyBlack.com. I mean, we have black-owned businesses of the black community across America where we're not producing some type of product for our people.
What I found surprising was the amount of product that came from Africa on your shelves, and the absence of these products in America. It's like they don't vend from Africa. And what I did notice is this: all these corner stores sell to African Americans. Why don't they vend from Africa?
Well, uh, a couple of reasons. One is that we here in the black community need to develop an interest in what is being manufactured and produced and made in Africa. It has to be an interest first. In fact, there's I think it's a YouTube content creator. It's called Made in Africa. So the interest has to be there first. And secondly, a lot of African Americans are traveling back and forth to Africa who is aware of the products there. As the repatriation, as you know, in 2019 with Ghana. This is something that I think most black businesses here in the community, they're familiar with a lot of products that's coming out of Africa, but mainly, as you know, the black soap, shea butter, herbs, sea moss. A lot of products now we're familiar, but now it's where we're going to take our finances and take that next step and invest in those products, either packaging them ourselves or we can invest in what's already made there on the continent. But the bottom line is it has to be a loyal interest, and you have to be proactive to get that in, around the local stores in the 757.
And per one of our conversations, you mentioned on your most recent travels to Africa, you begin to get into the clothing and fashion. Could you tell us more about that?
Well, African fashion and clothing in the 7 countries. I think that Ghana is known, as the world is known, and Ghana is known for the kente, adinkra. Ivory Coast is known for, in Mali, the mud cloth. In Nigeria has a shoki. So it depends, and if you go to the east coast of Africa, they have their certain styles of clothing there. I think what the most important thing that's striking, that struck me, that is that the quality and how everything is like done by hand there. Everything is done to perfection, and the numerous, endless, authentic designs, Kampala they call it. It's another one. It's endless names. So, but in my humble opinion, Ashoki and the Kente is the two most popular on the west coast of Africa, and they call them dashikis. But then there's another one called a fugu, or I can't pronounce the word, batakari, I think it's called, and it's like the same style. It's made in the again. That's what got me, sorry, to make some investments in that arena.
That's pretty awesome. Well, are you looking to bring some stores here, or is this venture something that you're going to keep in Africa? Because the reason I asked that, because I noticed there's an influx of people from the continent of Africa coming to places like Norfolk. So I was wondering, would you be interested in bringing your clothing line here?
Um, Again, it's something where it has to be a. I like to use this word interest, and I also like to use the word. If something has to be naturally in you, you really have to love yourself, know who you are, know your history, and be a reader on the clothing history of the African continent, not just the West Coast or the East Coast, but the entire continent. And there's numerous books on the subject, as you know. Um, so yeah, if you've been taking note that there's a uh, company black owned company that makes bow ties, African print bow ties, and I think it's about five, I believe, but two in particular that I support. And there's many black owned companies that's importing material from Africa and producing um, African designs. WeBuyBlack.com. There's a sister there. She makes uh, blankets and bedspreads and pillowcases, and so so it's coming. But again, it's education. The key word is education, and then once you educate our people in the community, they have to want this thing. In fact, they have to want it as much as they want to breathe.
I want you to express your importance of doing business in Africa.
Oh, that's a real good question. Well, it's vital at this juncture. Um, when you look at the Pan African, it's a win-win situation for the black man in Africa and the black man in America. Um, when it comes to the socioeconomic aspect, uh, we have the money. We're worth over $2 trillion. Actually, Africa is worth more than us once they get it together economically. But uh, when you look at what they have to offer and what we have to offer collectively, um, it's it's a win-win situation. The African brothers and sisters there are standing on, walking on, sleeping on for thousands of years, an absolute paradise, a gold mine. And they have black-owned banks there. We got black-owned banks here. Um, I think what's important is when they come to America, our brothers and sisters from Africa, we, as the host, I guess, and welcome them in, have to educate them and make sure that they open up their account with a black-owned bank here in America. That's for starters, and then educate each other about our history, and that comes from literature and reading, and then we have to start communicating and just keep it strictly business. And I think that will be the success for our unity in the near future.
I noticed literacy is a high topic for you. It's a big topic for you, and I can imagine. So you own a bookstore, so I know literacy is very important to you. How what do you do to promote literacy, and what are some of the things that come from being well versed in various subjects?
Well, number one, um, again, I like this word interest. It has to be a interest, an unquenching thirst for reading and literature, and it has to start in the home, from the womb, from birth. Um, and then, secondly, um, I think that the main question should and must be asked to the black man and black woman in America, particularly the black man, is what black bookstore do you support? And when it comes to the progressive activities, here at Timbuktu Bookstore, I've had many, I carry uh, material that promote literacy by teaching our children and or adults how to read. Um, I've had once a month a reading study group here. We sit around and we just take one book and we read and take turns and study that one book. It was like a black literature study group. Um, so again, um, this literature subject is is profound. It's endless. As you know, a book um, is your best friend. It's priceless. Um, I just think that when it comes to our community, um, reading must be um, something that's um, a black code, I would say, in the household. And then we can and once that is implemented from the root, you will see a great success in our behavior morally.
I noticed one thing across the board. There's been a plunge in literacy, especially with this new generation. And we all know you have to read something in order to learn one, your history, to have some type of guidance how to move forward for the future. What do we do to help promote literacy? And so much social media has pretty much taken over the landscape. So if it's not a video, most people aren't interested. What do we do to create a demand for reading?
Well, first things first, you have to um, educate our people, young and old, that you cannot forget your humble beginning. Before all this technology that we have today, Kindle, e-read, Alexa, down to a voice can. However, way before all this technology, we got the easy access into Google. As you know, paper originated in Africa, in ancient Kemet, Egypt. Uh, and we was writing on leaves, and then it went from leaves to scrolls, and then from scrolls to uh, um, uh, book form. So we have to be acknowledge our humble beginning, and once we do that, you can do both. You could read a book, keep a book in your house, particularly books on that's written by our scholars first, that will give us the knowledge of ourselves and the knowledge of our true history. That's first. And then if you want to go on your cell phone and download a book, help yourself. But never forget your humble beginning.
In your experience, what are the primary obstacles to literacy in the Black community?
Social media. Uh, look at the word is distraction. Look, there is a black community, as you know. They're bombarding us daily with TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, MySpace, and every time you turn around, you can't even think if you're on your phone doing something pivotal to our history, our roots, seeking the knowledge of self in your history. They're interrupting you with commercials and trying to sell you something. Um, so, uh, you know, that's something that has to be considered.
Well,
Uh,
how can your business help overcome this?
um, um, Easy. It has to be done collectively, not just Timbuktu books. So I think all the literary uh, scholars in the area, we should create a think tank and sit down and target our babies first. You got to start from our children, because once you turn 12, you have a mind of your own. Very few teenagers and young people today, you're going to really convince them to sit down and open up a book. And from the Timbuktu perspective, I think that the only way we can get this thing done, it's like they say, the best advertisement is word of mouth. So, we got to start talking to each other. Everybody's just texting each other, and no one talks and sit down anymore over a cup of tea or over a cup of African coffee or an African dish or something. It's just this technology is really killing what I would say the humanness that's in us to relate with each other.
We're going to dive more deeper into your community involvement when we get back, but we're going to take a quick break. And once we get back, I want to talk about your community engagement and your philanthropy.
Sure.
Every step, every breath, we give it all. In the ink, in the print, our truth is found.
For over a century, the New Journal and Guide has been the heartbeat of Hampton Roads, delivering news that shapes our community and resonates beyond. As the South's oldest Black-owned newspaper, we chronicle stories that matter, from local triumphs to national milestones, celebrating the rich tapestry of the African-American experience, history, present, and future in one subscription. Stay informed and empowered. Subscribe today at thenewjournalandguide.com.
Okay, we're back. We're here with Brother Ali. He's talking about his business endeavors with the Timbuktu bookstore out in the city of Norfolk. Now I want to kind of gauge over to your community involvement. Could you give us some insights on how you are involved with the community and some of the things you do using your bookstore and some of the knowledge that you've acquired over the years?
Sure. Everyone has their, a different definition of philanthropy, but, it's just, something that you feel passionate about that you think is beneficial to serving our people in the community at large. One, over the years, I'm somewhat, I was consistent for many years on many things. One, celebrating Kwanzaa, Juneteenth. Of course, I've been celebrating the success and also the work and supporting the work of the NOI, Nation of Islam, the NAACP. Of course, the New Black Panther Party. At one time, I was sending free books to inmates at Norfolk City Jail for numerous years. Sitting on boards with related to the Black Christian and Muslim dialogue subject. And finally, I have always supported the initiatives of Black women who are entrepreneurs here in America and Africa.
Let's talk more about the incarcerated, because I think that's where a lot of people can be reached. They're in a place where they're isolated from society, yet there's a lot of influence in these facilities, and the more literature that they have access to, it seems like the better shaped the influence becomes. That makes sense?
Sure, absolutely. When I used to visit the inmates there at Norfolk City Jail, and of course for literature purposes. I can tell you the truth, brother. Um, Norfolk City Jail, the sheriff at the time, I forget his name, and I don't know what their policy is, but I think I found out somewhat when I was there. They have absolutely no concern or care for books that will help improve the inmate, particularly if you are a black man. That's a fact. Um, their library, I had the opportunity to view some of their books in the library that they have, and and I was there in the mailroom one day, and the books was being delivered from different places, different publishers, or whoever was sending books to the incarcerated there. And most of the books titles I saw was absolute nonsense. Wasn't worth reading. Now, of course, I if you're reading something, I respect that. But if you know that the majority of your inmates are black, African American, and you know our history, and there's black sergeants there, captains there, black people who got rank there. And so the books that I was suggesting to them at the time was books that will strictly give the black man the knowledge of himself and his true history. And trust me, it was a struggle. And they just, they had books there that, no disrespect, but it was, comical to me, the books that they had there. Now, one book there that they inundate you with the Bible in the Norfolk City Jail. And of course, the Quran, of course they gave that. I mean, you could get it, but it wasn't as easy accessible as the Bible. The Bible is, Norfolk City Jail give everybody their Bible, right? So I peeped that. But yeah, Norfolk City Jail had no intention on educating. In fact, they wouldn't even, I remember having a dialogue with one of the sergeants there that I said, brother, I was a sister, by the way, black woman. I said, sister, I'm willing to pay for the books myself, my bookstore. And I gave them a list of titles. I think it was about 25 titles. And they all rejected them.
So they're vetting the books like that?
Absolutely. Almost every inmate, I was getting so many letters from inmates coming to my bookstore. I wish I would have kept them all for my historical records, but I was getting letters from inmates monthly, sometimes 2 out a month, sometimes 4, requesting certain titles, which I had to write back or have someone else write them back and let them know that the jail would not deem that book feasible because of the message, the content. I don't think they care anything about the author per se. It's more of what is going into the minds of the inmates. Most inmates, I was getting a standing applause. To be honest with you, much love from the black man at that time that was locked up, incarcerated in Norfolk City Jail. And so many was trying to, they was, the ones that was in my corner, so to speak, they was getting other brothers, inmates active. They would say, hey brother, I know some brothers, another brother want this book, or another brother want to meet you, another brother. So it was growing. Slowly, but you can see it was growing. And I think the city of Norfolk, I think at the time, the NOCP president was there at the time. His name was James Rivers, if I recall.
You said NAACP.
And yes, I think the office was in Norfolk at the time, over there off of Church Street, if I'm not mistaken. But I think he moved to. So I met with him once, and I tried to unite with him. I sent him a book list, uh, and all these books I read myself, of course. I sent him a thorough book list, and I thought he was going to unite with me, and because he was inside the jail doing something else. I think he was out. I know what he was doing. He was head of I think, the GED program or something like that.
Okay.
And so I'm thinking that, he's a black man. I'm a black man. And, I own a bookstore. I'm coming with books written by black authors for our people to help improve us socially, morally, economically, spiritually. He would, since he had a little more leeway because he was a Christian, right? And of course he for some reason he ignored me.
Mm.
That just goes to tell you the mindset of some of our brothers and sisters who supposed to be helping our people in the community.
You talk about them vetting books. So you were
Right.
saying that at one point that this list of books that you had sent to the prison, to the jails,
Right.
were denied. And,
Yeah.
and did it give you a reason why they was denied?
Yes. Yes and no. Sometimes they would, sometimes they wouldn't. It was happening sporadically. Well, the main reason was that they was saying that the literature, the message in the book would cause a riot. That's what I was hearing all the time, that word riot. And so I would debate with them on it. I said, well, can you prove that? I'm a logical man, and Islam teaches us the Quran says when you speak something, produce your evidence. So I would say to the sheriffs there and the lieutenants and the captain, well, prove to me that this book, what's the history? Give me some jails across the country where this book was read, or prisons where it caused a riot.
What type of
And
books were
Olahi,
these? I mean, I'm just trying.
they were just African historical books. Most was written by, I can give you the authors right now off the top of my head: J.A. Rogers, Amos N. Wilson, France Fanon, Ivan Van Sertima, Del Jones, Dr. Naeem Akbar, Marcus Garvey, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Malcolm X, and in along that line of those authors, there was a book, 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene, and books along that line of educating the black man about his black experience for the past, in some cases, 2,000 years. But I try to, narrow it down to some of the books like Bullwhip Days. Books on slavery was definitely shunned. I remember that. And I was like, well, this is a fact. Like, this is what happened, and we got proof. This is a well-known book at Barnes and Nobles, written by a black author. So, yeah, it was a tedious thing. They were nitpicking constantly. I just couldn't believe it. And normally I would fight, to the end, but I realized it was James Rivers. He didn't stand with me, and I remember I would contact him. He would answer his phone. It was always he was doing something else, and I've talked with him, and I think we talked at least 3 or 4 times in the 2.5 years I was trying to get a foothold in Norfolk City Jail. When it came to, I wanted to completely be in charge of the book that was coming into the system. I was telling them I was willing to volunteer and work uh, strictly for the inmate.
And you got caught
When
with
it
red
came,
tape.
yes, absolutely. So again, brother, I found out quickly that when a black female sergeant said to me, she said, "Brother, um, I forgot how she said it, but it was something like this. It's been so many years." She said, "I don't care if it's a Mickey Mouse book or Donald Duck book or something. Um, you know, uh, that's what we allow our inmates to read, and that's what they'll read."
Wow.
So, yeah, I mean, it was a very sarcastic, facetious statement, but I looked at it like, wow, even you is an enemy to our people. Uh,
That's very interesting, because you would think that these facilities would welcome reform, especially if these are books that talks about guidance.
Not at all.
And America's supposed to be based on freedom of religion. So whether it's a Christian book or a Muslim book, if these books are giving some social norms, or some to better the person, the reader, you would think that they would allow that. And then as we talk about black entrepreneurship and literacy, as we talk and get onto the prison subject, I was thinking this would be a good place for black authors to send their books. Like, if I'm a black author and I want readers and I want some insight, I know a place where people are sitting down and they're not distracted by social media, like we were saying earlier. So you would think they would welcome, literature that
Not at
reforms a person.
not at all. It's strange. It's interesting that you use the term reform. Uh, Number one, that the people in charge of the Norfolk City Jail, when it came to what comes in and out to the inmates, when it comes to literature, whether it's papers, magazines, or books, the people in charge uh, cannot be reformed,
Hmm.
because how could you, the most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, he asked the question, can Satan be reformed?
Hmm.
And the answer to that question is emphatically no. So if Satan is running the jail system, then, you just brought a thought to me when you used the term reform. So remember, brother, you're dealing with black men, black people. So they already got a hatred for us on the onset. So, and now you locked up. Why do you think they keep it cold in the jail? They keep the temperature because because when you're cold, you're not, it keeps you from not, you know, being violent. You want to stay under the covers, and this is psychology, and the psychologists know that. So make it really cold. This is not a vacation for, as one sheriff told me. And by the way, no white sheriff gave me a problem.
Hmm.
It was only the black sheriff.
That's interesting.
So, well, it's a mindset. It's a mentality. That's because at the root, we just don't love one another. And then, of course, jealousy plays a role also, and self-hatred.
If you don't mind, I want to pivot into something that's off Tinder here. um, so in your bio, it says that you're a dedicated member of the NBPP, the New Black Panther Party. Um, are you comfortable with kind of explaining what the NBPP is and how you're involved?
Sure. The New Black Panther Party was organized. By the way, it's a political organization. It was just a continuation of the original Black Panther Party, but our leader, Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad, which is an ancestor now, He died February 17, 2001. It is an organization that is, as you know, is in defense of the Black community. It's not a religious organization, it's more political, and it's designed to protect our people in the community, educate our people in the community, and serve our people in the community. So, uh, in my position at the time, and still is presently, um, here in Norfolk, the Norfolk chapter, the local minister of Black economics or economics. So, and I'm still, I'm like well, I would say I'm still in contact with my comrades, and so everyone's doing their part. It's a struggle, and so the new Black Panther Party, I don't have leisure to give you the entire history.
Yeah.
Maybe we can set that up on another date because of the sake of time. But yes, but overall, the new Black Panther Party is a political organization that was just a continuation of the original Black Panther Party. But we came with the same ideas, same philosophies, but just to not to improve, but just to make to continue the work and to be successful at.
So does the NBPP do they get involved with unifying the families and help steer away from black on black crime?
Oh, absolutely. In our 10-point program, I can get that to you later. I can lay that all out to you later on a later date, and maybe I can, send it to you by email or something. Yes, absolutely. We believe totally in the protection of family and the wife, and the Black family is the Black community. We believe that the man must be in the house with his queen or empress or goddess with his children, a righteous man. Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad taught us, my leader, teacher, and guide, that the Black man role is a protector, provider in his household and with his children. And we should protect our children and our wives and our family, even if it means our death.
So, and I'm gonna pivot off this because you're right. I think this would be a conversation for a whole show to kind of dive deep. I really want to know, about the NBPP because there's so much bad stigma on some of these social groups, and sometimes having that conversation to kind of get clarity could help a lot of people, understand the inner workings. But you have over 30 years of activism and business. What key leadership lessons do you have to pass on to aspiring entrepreneurs?
Well, I kind of like summed that up before, but I guess I can rephrase it or repeat it. I'm sorry. Well, it's 5 key points I've been stressing, not in this order, but over the years. Keep your word in business. Discipline yourself. Be humble and a righteous servant to our people. Make sure all your merchandise is top quality and healthy for our community, and of course, it's Black owned and produced and operated. And lastly, I would say you have to be consistent. So that's my answer to that question.
And for those who are looking to do business in African continent, what advice can you give them?
Oh, great. I'm glad you asked that question. Really, the advice that I would give to our people who wants to invest in Africa, and which we all should be investing something on the African continent. Just pick a country. Is as they say, the harvest is plenty, but the laborers are few. Um, the main advice I give: never leave home without a book in your hand. And whatever you do, love it, be passionate about it, and be the best at it until the very end. Now,
This is
now
advice for those who want to do business in
yes,
Africa. You said
in
keep a book.
Africa, yes, absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely.
Okay.
Never leave home without a book to read. Now, let me just end with this answer. To end the answer. My aspiration is that hopefully all Black business in our community will link up with the prosperous Black African owned businesses in Africa to create an economic powerhouse between us. Our Black family there, along with our people there, hope our Black owned banks here, and vice versa. So I think that if we can get that link of communication going, and by the way, we're doing it. If you go to the YouTube channel, there's multiple content creators. The Merc is one from Nigeria.
The Merc.
The Merc. His name is the Merc. Then there's another sister. Her name is Abigail Lucy Mary. Then there's another brother called Afro Think Tank. And then there's another good brother. It's called Authentic African. So just those four. I mean, I could run some more just off the top of my head, but those four in particular is doing a great job. Well, there's another one. It's called Friends of the Congo. So those five is proof of how the link is growing more and more and more and more every single day. And then of course the work I'm doing, the work you're doing in the community. It's again, beloved. There's nothing they cannot stop us now. It's over for those who seek to not to see us on equal social and economic parity. It's over now. It's happening every day, and we love each other. And let me just make this clear that the Black man in Africa and woman, I've been there 16 times. I've been to 7 countries. Yes, they have their struggles, just like we got here. Yes, you have the house Negro there, the house Negro here. Yes, you have the trader there, the trader here. However, the masses of our brothers and sisters on that continent, the masses who have knowledge of self and who are righteous, they love us. I have never been in an African country where everywhere I go, they beg me. I mean, literally. Brother, tell our sisters and brothers we love them and we want them to come back home. And they just got to meet up with the right brothers and sisters here from Nigeria or Ghana or Sierra Leone or Senegal or Gambia or Uganda, Ethiopia, Zanzibar, all the places I've been on the continent. And they love the Black man and woman in America.
Wow.
And we love them. And we love them. So all this, because we're the same people at the root, they know it and we know it. So yes, you're going to have those on social media. I call it little boy and little girl stuff that they do, and African Americans don't like us, and we don't like African Americans, and all that foolishness. That's child's play, brother. It's a waste of airtime, and YouTube is eating that nonsense up.
It's
But
all
in
clickbait.
reality, yeah,
Wow.
right, and right, in reality, when you see that them posts all on YouTube, African Americans don't like Africa and African, it's all lies, brother. If you get them one on one, seriously, if you get them all in a room, one on one, and talk heart to heart, and I guarantee you, all of them, deep down inside, we love each other. It's like family bickering. That's all it is. It's just family bickering.
Well,
Everywhere I go in Africa, I've been in 7 countries. I've spent 2-3 weeks a month over there, and most of them. And I'm telling you the truth. Yes, you're going to have those who are ignorant. Just like you got the ignorant here of our people. Right. But the masses of the people, the African American, we waking up every day. The black man in Africa, he's waking up every day thanks to social media, thanks to YouTube and Facebook and Instagram and African Stream. As you know, the Secretary of State, the last one, when they took African Stream off of YouTube and banned our sister that's living in Burkina Faso. Our sisters living from California. So,
yeah.
So again, brother, we're coming together, and I'm gonna leave you. I'm gonna leave with this. One of the greatest fears that the United States of America has. This is facts, big fact. Is I see all these Europeans on social media telling us to go back to Africa, go back to Africa, go back to Africa. I mean, endless videos, right? I wish I could sit with those Caucasians, those Europeans, those white people, and say, I would say to them, you don't mean that. You're a liar. You don't mean it. And it's true, they don't. It's just, they just talking. Because, and I'm going to prove it right now. If we was to leave the United States of America, all of us, I'm talking about every one of us, our mentally ill, all our military personnel, our doctors, our lawyers, our business owners, I mean, all of us, everybody that's in Section 8, all 44 million of us will start to fly out of here day by day. I mean, it may take a few years to get us all flown over there.
I think, and I just to kind of, I'm not trying to fact check you, but I think we're around 14 million, aren't we? Close to 14 million,
okay.
Not 44, but I'm listening.
All right.
So
well,
if we all were to leave,
okay. Well, the truth is that they're liars. Them white boys are lying and talking about go back to Africa, because if we left the United States, it wouldn't be a United, and they know it. So, it would be a nightmare for them. They don't want to let their ex-slaves go. All you got to do is the late Paul Mooney had a DVD sit down. It was called "Analyzing White America" by Paul Mooney. He was the grandfather of black comedians. In fact, if it wasn't for Paul Mooney, most black comedians today wouldn't be in the position that they're in. So he wrote for Sanford and Son and Richard Pryor.
Yeah.
I mean, he has a history. So just watch his sit down about that subject, and he told the truth. It's all nonsense, brother. They don't want us leaving America. They scared to death. And look, we keep America alive. And if it wasn't for us,
we're kind of getting off question a little bit,
because
the question was really about, giving advice for those who wanted to work with African entrepreneurs, and kind of give. Them.
Right.
So, but I just understand that you're getting really passionate. So while we're here, give me a vision of your future, the future. Give me a vision of what you see the future of the American, the African American, uh, and Pan Africans. What did it look like?
It looks like a paradise on earth. We're going to bring in the new world, the new on earth. It's inevitable. It's been written. It's not just prophesized, but our ancestors, Allah, God is with us, always been with us and backing us, and has always backed us. And our ancestors are with us, so we can never lose. So it's our time. It's going to be a beautiful thing. If I pray, I live to see it. Maybe I won't. Maybe my grandchildren will bear witness to this truth. But since me and you living today, we're the ones that's going to help usher this thing in with the help of Allah, God Himself.
And so what do you mean? Like there's going to be more unity.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. It's going to be the righteous is going to reign on this planet. It's inevitable. The system that you see, the earth ain't going nowhere. It ain't going nowhere. The system that you see is going to be destroyed. In fact, it's being destroyed as we speak. The United States of America is doomed. And it's going down every day.
A lot of people see
and the wise and the righteous know it. So all we got to do is just sit back, be righteous, stay with God, stay on our spiritual path, obey these laws, statutes, and commandments, and make our righteousness and our foundation our square.
Well, this has been a great conversation, and we're going to end it here. We're going to have to get you back on the show. There was so many different questions that we covered, but I feel like we kind of jumped all over the place because you're full of knowledge, and I wanted to pull out some of these key topics from you. So thank you so much, Brother Ali, and
you're welcome. Thank you so much for having me.
And I hope to talk to you again soon.
Yes, sir, you will. Thank you, brother. Have a good night.
You too. Thank you so much.
In unity we answer the call. Raise the banner high, let it touch the sky. With every story told,